Hello, Scorpio. This forecast is for you from September 20th to September 30th. It's a full moon today, harvest moon, Pisces, and under a Pisces moon. So a lot of power, a lot of energy, a lot of really deep contemplation, looking into the past, learning where we made our mistakes, where we can fix them, and also just kind of really that harvest moon really kind of breeds just the organizing things, storing up for the winter, getting ready for the next season, enjoying the fruits of our labor, reaping what we sow. And so that's where we're at with Scorpio. Scorpios really, I feel like you're finishing up some projects or could be finishing up projects and getting started on some new ones during the end of this month here. So you may have already started some new ones here during the middle of the month, but I feel like it really plays a part here at the end of the month, right around the 25th. We're going to be dealing with, we're going to be dealing with this retrograde or Mercury in retrograde here on the 27th. So things may seem to kind of slow down or go a little backwards, but that's okay. Don't let it steer you from where you're headed. And don't let it really block your creativity, because I feel like you have another project you're going to be starting here pretty soon. So really, I think a lot of it is just kind of being good to yourself, being kind to yourself and being kind to others. I think that there could be, because of the energy, you can tend to kind of lose your temper, like Sagittarius is what and I feel like losing your temper or losing your cool, something you really want to watch. Just maybe just do a daily meditation, wake up and do daily affirmations, whatever it is that makes you feel better, even listening to music, something that calms you down when you feel like you want to say something, because Scorpios have a very sharp tongue and are very intelligent. So those two together combined can really tear somebody down. You want to be careful of that with your family, with your friends, coworkers, basically everything. So, or everybody that's around you and in your circle. The sun is conjunct with Mars and maybe make things a bit complex. So as it goes in conjunct with Mars, this has been kind of a confusing month for you. However, I do feel like you're kind of gaining ground as you're just kind of getting through or muddling through sometimes, it seems like. So let's see here. And Venus and Mercury will impact your emotions and subconscious. That subconscious and the illusions, we want to be careful with that Pisces energy, that Pisces full moon, that we're not getting lost in the illusion, but we're using our imagination for the right reasons and for that manifestation, for whatever we're working on, for whatever we're finishing, and for whatever we are starting, or just trying to see through. So make sure we're not kind of getting lost in the illusion of, try to keep it a little bit more practical. It's okay to be imaginative and think big. I think Scorpios do that anyway. I feel like you all have the ability to, the Scorpio has the ability to really succeed at whatever they're doing, as long as they put their mind to it and don't let that sharp tongue get them in trouble. Because you can be very good with business dealings and negotiations, sales, or people, anything dealing with people. However, that can go another way. It can go, you might not be so good at dealing with people. You might break a deal because of something you said. The deal might be off because of that and because of hurting somebody's feelings. So just be aware of that. Be aware that you do have the gift of public speaking, the gift of speaking to others, but that, we don't want to take that for granted. We want to make sure that we're never coming from a place of any kind of highly emotional state. We want to keep ourselves grounded, keep ourselves balanced. Hello, everyone. So this is for Scorpio from September 20th to September 30th. And you're getting your reading on the full moon, Scorpio. So we're also, I feel like things slow down and you're going to want to push, or you're going to want to really keep pushing through. If you keep doing something and it's not working, this is funny. It's very similar to Sagittarius, Sagittarius reading. But I feel like you don't want to really rush things. You want to rush in. You don't want to rush to complete something. You want to make sure you're doing it and you're paying attention to what you're doing, being mindful with that. So that's the general energy for Scorpio. Now, Scorpio, this reading pertains to those that have Scorpio in their sun sign, their moon sign, and their rising sign or their ascendant. So if that is one of you, or if one of those is you, or all of them sometimes, this pertains to you. And of course, as always, I will give you what I can see and what I'm picking up, and take or leave, take what you want and don't take what you don't, if that makes any sense. Yeah, take what you want, leave the rest. That's right. And as far as children, like I feel like I say, with family flaring up, especially this really kind of it really has a lot to do with your children or children around you. Make sure you're not losing your cool and putting yourself down in that childish spot, right? You don't want to let that subconscious emotion is coming out because of, or your subconscious actions are coming out because of that Pisces moon. And we want to be careful of it. Pay attention to our subconscious, pay attention to our emotions and how we're dealing with things, how we're coping with things, how we're reacting to people. And I think you'll be okay. But let's do a couple of cards here. Get a little bit more information here, or confirmation. Usually it's confirmation. You barely have a tongue left because you bite your tongue, and you've been biting your tongue in the last 3 years. Yeah, I get it. Duh. Right over my head there for a second. Welcome, everybody. Hello, Tracy. No, you haven't missed Leo yet. That's probably going to be one of the last ones. But I'll be doing this over the next couple of days, at least 3 a day. So. Let's see what's going on with Scorpio here for the next 10 days. Okay, you got the rattle, disperse. It's really clearing out that negative energy. I feel like you're highly charged sometimes, especially over these next 10 days. And you want to be careful that you're not allowing too much of that negative energy or negative thoughts or negative projections. Really being careful with the negative energy period. Really maybe take, sage when you need to, take a walk when you need to just kind of cool off if you need to, take some time, a little bit, a few minutes to yourself to cool down and think clearly again, because you can get in this really highly charged state where you're splattering out just a lot of hurtful words to others and to yourself. So let's see here, disperse, and what else did you get? These are the 2 main aspects you want to pay attention. So disperse and using that rattle. So using music, like I was saying before, really kind of bringing that energy up when you need to. When you start to feel like you're getting in that highly charged state or you're really tense, you want to loosen things up. You got stone people knowing. So though you're tense, though you feel like you've got a pretty good hold on where you want to go, so you're not really confused about that. I don't feel like you're confused about the things you want to accomplish or the things you're about to accomplish. I feel like you have a pretty clear direction there. So let's pull one on the rattle. Let's pull a Moonology card on the rattle. Back to that. She says, pay attention. Okay, you got step out of your comfort zone, North Node. So we know stepping out of our comfort zone, that's pretty self-explanatory, really stepping outside of that box, pushing yourself to do more. So this month, I feel like this month you have a chance to really get into something new, whether it's planning some future events or future travel, any type of real movement forward, or like I said, it's about starting new projects or seeing some of these projects you've been working on, seeing them to accomplishment or to an end, so you can kind of tie that up and you can move on to your next campaign, so to speak. wherever that's taking you. And the North Node is about your destiny, right? Under that North Node, that's about what you are, what you are here for, following your purpose more. And I feel like you're doing that pretty well. And you get the stone people, which is about having that knowledge, knowing what you need to do and just following through with it. So let's pull one on the knowing card. You got your commitment is being tested, first quarter moon. Committing, right? Commit to it. Are you kind of jumping in and out of something? Like I feel like, yeah, Scorpio can kind of get to this point, at least over the next few days, where you're indecisive. You're not really moving forward. You just kind of get stuck in thinking, okay, well, maybe I should do this, maybe I shouldn't, or I'm going to do this, and then you get distracted and you go do something else. Focus and basically prioritize your time to what's most important. Do that first. Don't get scattered into a bunch of different things. Not that you can't handle that, but I feel like if you kind of bring everything in and stay a little bit more organized, it will pay off in the end or in the future. There is no end. So it looks good. I mean, as far as the general energy, I feel like it's just really kind of watching your temper, having a handle on your emotions, not letting them control you, not letting them into the driver's seat. All right. Be logical about things. Think things through before you say anything. Be very, very mindful of what you're saying, what you're projecting, and what you're taking in, what you're thinking as well. All right. So let's get to love. Love and relationships for Scorpio. So love and relationships, I feel like they stay pretty even. I feel like they're more like getting better. Like I actually see if those that are in marriages or in long-term partnerships, even new relationships, it seems to be taking this next 10 days seems to be taking like more energy or energetic between the two of you. So very good. It's a good sign. It's a good energy for both of you. I feel like you've kind of come out of this not so good or uncomfortable kind of phase, or you're coming out of it. So I feel like you and your partner are going to actually grow if you're willing to let that happen. If you're not, you don't let your emotions get controlled the best of you, whether that be jealousy or envy or, holding things back. I mean, you want to speak to each other. You want to talk to each other, be partners, be a team, right? If you can do that, I feel like things go pretty smooth for the relationship and actually progress. So I think it's more about harmony. That's what we're aiming for this month. As far as singles, it's more about just how you treat people in general, right? How are you treating people, even if it's like a new love or a new attraction, really being very mindful of what you say, how you act. Like you don't have to be somebody else. I feel like if you can really just focus on speaking and articulating yourself, you won't have those problems. If you can articulate better, you won't have the problems that you have as far as blowing up on somebody. I feel like you and your partner can really talk to each other if you're willing to come from a place from your heart instead of always thinking too much, right? Scorpio can be in their head very much so. So it's something you want to pay attention to. Long-term relationships, I feel like you're, really whatever you've built up this last month or the last couple of months, whatever you've been working on, whether you've been kind of slacking or really working hard toward a goal, I feel like the next 4 weeks are going to be really about you. You're going to see if you made the better choices or if you made the mistakes. So you're either going to reap the rewards or you're going to be seeing failures from your past, and they're, it's kind of that cause and effect. Or a little bit of both. I mean, I would expect a little bit of both. Let's pull some cards on love and relationships here. It does seem to be like you want to just really focus on making better choices for yourself and your partner. Knowing that your partner makes their own choices, but you can come to an agreement. You can work as a partnership, whether it be your husband or wife or your boyfriend or girlfriend, or just someone that's new. Maybe it's just a friend that you're close to right now. Really, communication and articulating without stinging, Scorpio. If you can do that, I feel like the rest of the month goes well for you. All right. How many Scorpios in the house right now? Speak up. Leave it in comments. And let me know what you think about the astrological signs. I'd like to know. Your input is very valuable and appreciated. All right. So you got show the world the real you, which I think, when you get in these kind of places of, let me show you here, full moon in Aquarius. So that Aquarian energy, right? The Aquarian does not care what people think. They just love their life. They have this love for life and experiences. They're willing to keep moving through. That's the energy you want. And then answers you need are coming. So being patient, full moon in Gemini. The answers you need are coming. I feel like you maybe want to know some things, or you want to see feel like you're waiting for something, or waiting to see the rewards coming in, or some confirmation that you're on the right path. And like I said, the next 4 weeks, you'll see. You'll be shown what needs to be fixed and what is doing well. So just make sure that you, maybe even taking some notes, taking a journal of what's working for you. And this is in business as well. This is going to play out the same way in money and career. Really kind of noticing your mistakes, being able to be accountable for them and fix them from there. And also seeing what's working and continuing to capitalize on what's working for you. And I think that's where relationships are going to be. If you can do this, like I said, I feel like you're going to be in a much better spot next month. And there is going to be some growth that happens here and some advancement. Let's pull something. See what show the world the real you, that Aquarian card. How did you used to be? You got the lower world, the past, right? What did you used to feel like when you were a child, before we had to deal with any kind of real life stuff, stuff that doesn't feel so good to happen to us, and it doesn't grow our cynicism. When we were a kid and we were wondering, or we didn't care about what other people thought about how we were and who we were. I feel like you want to get to this place. Sometimes you can get a little bit vain, and you want to watch that vanity. You want to make sure you always keep that in check. It's okay to look good and want to look good. It can feel better, but let's don't get locked into that kind of mode of thinking. All right. I think the past is kind of telling you, look to your how did you feel when you were a child? That happiness. You were in the moment. You didn't really care about what other people thought about you. You just were you. And I feel like this is lending more toward being authentic. So in a relationship, a new relationship or long-term relationship, I feel like you want to be as authentic as possible. You want to kind of go back to the way you used to be before you started worrying so much, or life happened and you grew cynical or jaded over things. Be optimistic about the future. Be optimistic about the present. And we can do this by looking into the past and seeing what worked as well then, right? And what didn't. Let's don't get ourselves stuck in that cycle. I feel like you can get very stubborn and kind of get stuck in a cycle because you're not willing to see it or don't want to accept it for yourself. If you're stuck in a bad habit or a bad relationship, or maybe you're treating others poorly, be able to see that so you can fix it. And then we've got sacred sight. So this seems to be the end of the month. I think it's closer to 28th, 30th after we went into retrograde. I feel like you're really getting back to your spirituality, kind of getting back to yourself, really trusting yourself. A lot more harmony comes in toward the end of the month for you, and it seems to be like something you're starting to really come into your own. You're really seeing your skills flourish, and it's growing confidence in you. But the sacred side is really about taking care of yourself, taking care of your home, being mindful as far as, the feng shui of your home, the energy flow of your home, maybe moving things around a little bit, changing up the energy. If this is something you've already done, you're on the right track. But this is really living out your purpose. By doing this, decluttering or adding more to your home, I see it being more as adding more. this is body, mind, and soul. So, and this is the relationship that has to do with love and relationships. So it's more about, creating a more comfortable and loving home and helping do that. You don't have to do it by yourself. Your family will help, but I feel like that's where you want to look at things, is just creating, wherever you're at, a more sacred space, a sacred site within, wherever that is, and inside yourself as well. All right, love and relationships. Now we move on to money. That's going to be similar from, the same theme that's kind of been playing out as far as seeing your mistakes, seeing your accomplishments, getting rid of some of the things, or not falling back into the same old unhealthy patterns, or patterns that really aren't, actions you're taking that really aren't doing you any good. They may not be taking you backwards, but they're sure as hell not taking you forward. Like, in some ways you may feel stuck. If you're feeling that way, it's time to kind of really, use that Pisces energy to contemplate, to really look into your life and look at things, look at yourself. Where can you make yourself better? Right? That's not getting in this kind of poor me attitude or pitiful me attitude, but actually just really striving to be better. And I feel like Scorpios of all signs, and we'll be talking about Libra here in next hour or so, but have a really good ability of doing this. Like, as far as self-care and self-improvement, I feel like you have the discipline to do this. You have the drive, just depending on if you can get through your stubbornity or stubbornness to want to change. Really looking at yourself, being accountable, it will help. All right, money, communication. If you feel like you're needing like a step up or promotion at work, or maybe you're an entrepreneur and you want to add to or expand, or bringing in more profit stream, I feel like you need to be communicative. That is one of your best assets, is communication. Like I said, the only thing that can really mess with that is your emotions, or getting over emotional about something, or taking something wrong and just going, because you all burn it down. If you get set off the right way, you will burn everything down and then rebuild. You don't care. What was that, honey? That's right. You are water, but yes, you know how to destroy things. Water can destroy things too. But really, don't wait around for anything. It's time to be a go-getter. Like, you are going to feel that kind of. The end of the month, the 27th, retrograde is going to be coming into play. It looks like it doesn't affect your forward movement. I feel like it may slow down, but you are already moving pretty quickly, so it'll slow you down a little bit, just to remind you to be mindful. And if you do feel like you're kind of tripping over things, or things aren't working, just remember, take a step back, think about it, be more mindful about it, think about why it is happening, because we're creating a lot of that chaos for ourselves. It starts in the mind. So go after what you want. I feel like you have a clear direction. Let's pull some cards here on the finances and see what's up. Yeah, Ryan, these are just readings for Scorpio. So if it's in your ascendant, your sun, or your moon sign, that's what this reading's for. I'll be doing these the next couple of days. I'll try to get on and do some live streams. But if you're looking for a personal reading, just go to my website here at psychicshaman333.com, and you can schedule something there, and I will give you a personal reading. This one isn't the usual that I give with just the live stream, just doing live readings. We're just focusing on one sign at a time here. So we're going to pull some cards on money and career. Hello, William. She said, Lynn said, I'll stand on the bridges and burn it. All right, let's see what's going on here. Expect powerful change, new moon eclipse. That's a very good card. So expect some changes coming up, some things that you've already created. Like I said, feel like you're going to start to see some of the rewards that the seeds that you've been planting out throughout the year, I feel like they're starting to come to fruition. So if you made a lot of mistakes, if you kind of slacked off on everything, you're going to see more of the same. You're going to see more of like life slacking off on you because you're not really putting much time and energy into it. But I feel like for the most of you Scorpios, I feel like a lot of this has to do with taking a big movement, like moving forward very quickly. Like even in this retrograde, you seem to be moving. Things seem to be moving very quickly. They may, like I said, they may slow down a little bit, but I don't feel like you're being held back too much. And your full moon in Cancer, personal issue reaches resolution, excuse me. So what things that you may have been bickering about before or might have had some like bad blood or energy, feel like these things are calming down. So getting out of that energy that you're feeling earlier in the month, having to kind of face ourselves and our own emotions as well as others' emotions. I think if you can keep your cool, don't be stinging people, walk away before you do that. I feel like you will see things come to a resolution and really just start to calm down, more harmony toward the end of the month for you. Actually a little bit more quiet time, a little bit more time to take, kind of kick your feet up and take a break. Let's see what we find here for these. On the expect powerful change, new moon eclipse, got sacred site again. So just cleaning up your finances, cleaning up if you have anything late, make sure you're paying it or paying it down as much as possible. But just keeping your house clean. That doesn't necessarily mean your actual house, but it's part of it. Taking better care of yourself. This has to do with finances, so it's more about just making sure that everything is balanced. Like you're not leaving a bill behind that you're just going to forget about, or you're kind of slacking on it. Like, you want to make sure that you're kind of caught up, because I feel like you're going to need credit here in the future for your next venture, and you want to have, you know what I mean. You want to make sure you're painted in a good light when it comes to paying your bills and reliable. And the flute on top of the personal issue reaches resolution is expression. So Scorpio, go out there and show your stuff. Like, I feel like you want to just express yourself, not if you want something, whether it be a loan or you need some help or you need some support as far as your own business or at work, don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to articulate, communicate. That's playing a major key here. Communication is key for you right now, Scorpio. All right. Well, thank you very much. I hope you all enjoyed that. I will be back on here hopefully in the next couple hours to we'll work with Libra next. But hope you all enjoyed that. If you would like to leave a tip or donation, I would appreciate it. The link tree is in the description on YouTube, and it's also on my title or description on Facebook of this live stream. Please like, share, subscribe on YouTube so you can see future content. Much love to all of you. I'll talk to you soon. Mwah. Have a good one, everybody.